The word republic is deep and beautiful. It means we will not be governed by any kind of monarchy, any kind of theocracy, any kind of traditional rule. It's a statement in negativa. It denies, it rejects. It says, I will not allow a king to lord over me. I will not allow a tradition to lord over me. I will not allow the past to rule me. It's a beautiful thing. However, today there is an important nuance. The king might be sitting within in the form of the self, of the ego. The one ruling us might not be an external tradition, but it could be tradition sitting within the human being in the form of belief and prejudice. Therefore, true republic is not just external or formal. It is not just about not having a king on a throne. It is more about not putting one's superstitions, beliefs, divides on the throne. That is far more important. You see, the preamble to the Constitution has some very remarkable phrases. It starts with we the people of India, which basically is ownership and responsibility. I do not accept any external agency. We the people. It's about me, my life, my national life. Therefore, I am going to be responsible. We solemnly resolve, the preamble proceeds to say. So it is about my resolution, my inner discipline, not something imposed on me by an external power. And then the preamble concludes, it's a single sentence, with saying, we give this constitution to ourselves. We, the people of India, we are giving this constitution to ourselves. Basically, no one else has the right to rule us. The question today is, the one who rules us might not be sitting outside of us, but inside of us. And sitting inside of us, he is no longer visible. So we feel that we are free. And this, we need to be warned, might be a more threatening kind of situation. Because now the enemy is no longer outside or visible. Now he is sitting within in the form of our own weaknesses, our own prejudices, our own fears, our greeds. He is sitting within. And sitting within, he will debilitate us. Sitting within, he will weaken our national life. Therefore, you see, you cannot have external freedom without internal liberty. It's a beautiful word, no? Freedom, liberty. And the preamble says that we will have liberty of all kinds, faith, belief, expression, worship. It talks of justice, equality, liberty, fraternity, great words. And it is so interesting that when it comes to the animalistic center that most people carry, we are born with that, none of our fault. That the animalistic center that we carry does not like any of these words. See, it is remarkable, very significant, that the words that are central to the Constitution are words that the ego will never like. The ego will not like liberty. The ego will like irresponsible kind of freedom. My life, my rules, or my way or the highway, that kind of freedom the ego can like. But true liberty, liberty corresponding to liberation that our Indian philosophies talk of, That kind of liberty the ego does not like. Similarly, justice, the ego does not like justice. The ego simply says, I am the boss, I am the topper, I am the lord, and I am the witness, I am the jury, I am also the advocate, so I will decide. The ego does not like justice. Fraternity is again something that the ego does not like. The ego says, I am superior. How can all these people around me be my equals? How can there be any brotherhood? Because brotherhood basically means that we are one. We are coming from the same source. The ego does not want to accept that. The ego in fact wants to feel superior to others. So dignity of the individual, unity and integrity, all of these things are not really things that the usual self is going to be very fond of. When we say sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic, republic, please pause for a while and ask yourself, does the ego like socialism? When I say ego, I mean simply the center the normal, usual human being, the common man operates from. That's what I am calling as the ego. Ego does not necessarily mean pride alone. Ego simply means the center of our operation, the feeling of the self. Does the ego really like to be sovereign? No, because sovereignty comes with consequences, because one has to pay the price for not being dependent on anybody. Being dependent is comfortable and the ego relishes that comfort. So sovereignty is not something the ego is going to enjoy. Socialism is not something the ego will enjoy. Ego will say, let all the wealth be concentrated in my hands, and socialism says, let there be a fair distribution. Similarly, secularism is not something the ego won't even tolerate. The ego will say, my beliefs, my scriptures, my way of worship, all of these are far superior. It is so remarkable, so telling, so significant that all the key words in the entire expanse of Constitution, and particularly in the preamble, are words that the ego will strictly dislike. Democracy. The ego does not like democracy. The ego says, I am superior, so how can that fellow have equal voting rights? And true democracy is possible anyway, only when you know what is good for you, and therefore you elect your representatives accordingly. The ego does not know itself, therefore it also does not know what is good for itself. Therefore, when there is darkness within, even democracy is not possible. Right? So, democratic, republic, none of these are possible as long as the human being remains dark within. That's what this Republic Day is meant to remind us, that the nation can be great only when the citizens are awakened. That without light at the individual level, all we'll be left with is glory of the past to bask in, and great letters enshrined in the Constitution to worship, and foregoing of responsibility to certain individuals. These are the great ones, these are our leaders. Let them bear the responsibility of running the nation and making the nation great. The common man will say, I am not responsible. The common man will say, I will remain who I am, but I just want to say that India is great. That is practically impossible. The common man will have to raise his internal level. The common man will need to fight his internal demons. That's what the Constitution and the Republic demand of us. Unless that happens, we will find ourselves stuck. My greetings to the nation on the Republic Day, and I want us to be able and illuminated citizens so that the nation can achieve the potential it truly deserves. Thank you. Not just the youth, all Indians who want to see India great will have to fight everything within themselves that prevents them from being individually great. The nation is not outside of us. We are the nation. The nation is not some entity out there. You and me, all of us are the nation. Darkness and limits and prejudices within. What are we doing to the nation? For the sake of the nation, if we really love the nation, let us fight our own internal limits. Let us observe our thoughts and actions. Let us see where our desires come from. Let us see where our opinions come from. Because you cannot see the darkness within just by closing your eyes. You will have to observe what you are doing, how you are deciding, your thoughts, your relationships. It is in these that the internal complexities become visible. And when you look at those complexities, then you say, no, I don't want to carry this any further. I am a great citizen of a great country. Therefore, why should I support something so little, so petty, so weak? And when we observe our daily life, our thoughts, feelings, actions, decisions, and we very honestly say, I am courageous, I am bright, I do not want to remain small and confined within, that's when we rise, and that's when the nation also rises.